did you know that I can see you?
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this evening. Sorry, it started a little bit late, but I appreciate your diligence and everybody jumping in, hitting that like button, getting started. We got something fun to talk about, kind of interesting. We're going to talk about a couple of things that have come down the pike as of today and recently that I thought would be beneficial and edifying to everybody. So let's get that popping. But before we get too far afield, we're almost at the end of the year, y'all. That is amazing. We're almost at the end of 2024, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, whether you're a day one or this is your first day. I want to say thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for checking out the live streams, being a part of the best live chat on the internet, proving time and time again that this is, in fact, the best live chat on the internet. Thank you for your support, whether that be you liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting, all that stuff. I want to say thank you. Now, in my playlist, I'm doing my reflections over 2024. It's called Dear 2024, and it's in my playlist. It's just a video a day, dropping a video a day. I would love for you to check it out. Give me a feedback. Let me know what you think about it. All that kind of good jazz, all that good stuff like that. Let me know what you think about it. So check it out. It's called Dear 2024. Now, also, if you're not already a subscriber of the channel, I'm going to ask you something. I don't generally do this. I don't generally ask people to subscribe, but please subscribe to the channel. My goal is to hit 50 subscribers. Let's start that again. My goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers by the time I turn 51 in April. So if you're not already a subscriber, just go hit that subscribe button. I promise I'll try my best to keep the information and the content high level so that you continue to enjoy what we're doing over here. And I don't want to waste your subscription. So come on over here and check it out. So I really do appreciate y'all. Let me put my banner on here that says that. Bang, make sure you subscribe. Try to hit 50,000 subscribers by the time I turn 51. So help your boy out. I appreciate it. Now, shout out to all the good folk that are already in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody who's jumped in, making this live chat the best live chat on the internet. I appreciate all of y'all, especially since I had intended to start earlier, but somebody, we won't talk about him particularly, forgot that he had a deacons meeting tonight. I can't believe that. So needless to say, I had to start. We started a little bit late, but hopefully we can keep it in the middle of the road. I want to talk about 3 things tonight and get your feedback on all of them. The first thing, YSL. We ain't talked about YSL in a while, but there's a lot of YSL shenanigans still going on in these Atlanta streets. Now, one of these shenanigans is what we probably thought. We probably thought this was going to happen. We probably anticipated that we would come to this place. And what is this place, Jason? The place of Young Thug wanting to either A, having buyer's remorse for the plea deal, or B, wanting to come back to Atlanta and get that ban, the ban from Atlanta, the Atlanta streets lifted. Well, guess what? You were right. So we're going to look at this real quick. I want to hear what y'all think about this. So look real quick. Let's bring it in. And let's go.
Tonight, rapper Young Thug wants to be allowed back into Atlanta before his 10-year ban is up. His legal team has filed a motion to change his probation terms. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, pleaded guilty to 6 of his 8 charges in the YSL RICO trial. The motion argues that the banishment affects his ability to visit family. Williams also wants to keep his Florida residence confidential due to privacy and safety concerns.
All right. So I think we kind of knew that was going to happen. I knew it. We kind of knew and anticipated that was going to happen to some degree, shape, or form. Whatever it was going to look like, we could have had a jury discussion about it. But I think we all knew getting banned from Atlanta, the ban from Atlanta was kind of a lot. And I still believe that he should get away from Atlanta. Personally, my personal assessment is that get away from Atlanta. This is what got you in trouble, my guy. But I think it is understandable that at the current moment, the way that it's structured, he wants to get back to Atlanta. I think they should go back and revisit the whole thing, in my opinion. But let's see what y'all think about it. YSL brought a lot of people to common ground. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are 100% correct. he, was, he was already asking for it 10 minutes before it was over with. Absolutely. Shell Small says, Shelly Small, I don't know how they can force somebody not to go back into town. It's real easy. You're on probation. They catch you in town. That's a probation violation. You going to jail. It's really that easy. Though I disagree. I agree with it on a watch this. I think it should be a self-imposed banning from Atlanta, not the city saying it. I mean, the judicial system saying you can't be here, but him saying, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go to Florida. I'm going to go to Missouri. I'm going to go to Montana. I'm going to go away from all of the shenanigans. That's what I think should happen. But they imposed it on him. And I think that's where the problem is. Thank you so much, David. He says, I understand wanting to be near your family, but he's better off not being there. Absolutely. Bring your family with you. No, nobody said your mama can't come with you. And bring them with you, my guy. Get them with you there. Maybe they need to get up out of Atlanta. Let's say it again. Wait, he went from Georgia to Florida. Zoe Pound in Florida. What we doing? I don't know who Zoe Pound is, but I'm going to tell you this much. I didn't know he was in Florida. I thought he went to LA. Because initially, the agreement was that he would go to LA or California, rather. I knew it was going to happen. I think it needed to be redone. Yeah, Shelly, I agree with you. I think it should be a self-imposed. The Judge Whitaker doesn't need to impose it. Young Thug would need to impose, like, you know what? I need to get out of here. I need to make better decisions for myself and my family. And we're going to go to Chattanooga or something. But that's just my little 2 cents on it for sure. But yeah, he has a house in look, he got a house in a lot of places, bruh. You can just do just bounce from house to house to house, but just don't let the house be inside the metro Atlanta area. There, problem solved. Crazy it is. Is that what he did? Okay. Hawk says he went from Georgia to LA to Florida. There you go. And hopefully you mean LA like Los Angeles, not lower Alabama. Georgian people love that joke. I don't know why, but they love that. There's a lot of folk that love that lower Alabama joke. And I just thought I'd give them one. There you go. But yeah, that's it. So I think it's interesting. I was going to go over the YSL granny, the young lady who is we saw her in court. The white woman, she's a grandmother for sure. Absolutely. And she did an interview with Megan Kerneth, who is a content creator and journalist and such like that. Very prominent here on YouTube. She does excellent work. If the mods could maybe drop that link in there. I was going to go over that video, but I chose not to. One, because I didn't have time to finish watching it and make sure I had the right clips. And two, your boy was in a deacon meeting and rushing home to get here. So we're going to have to save it for another day. But I would love for you to check it out because I think it's interesting to hear some of those other players. You know, we know about the Bryans and the Maxes and the Dougs and the such like that, but maybe just an opportunity to hear some other people besides just the normal people. Zoe. So who's Zoe? Zoe Pound? Who's that? Oh, Zoe. Okay. I don't know, Voodoo. You're killing me. You're killing me. Every rapper should volunteer to leave Atlanta to escape Rico. There you go. There you go. There you go. We'll have time to work on it. Bones pronounced. Okay. What's going on, Mo Mac? How are you doing? How are you? But yeah, so Young Thug is effectively kicked out of Atlanta. And that's kind of wild. But I think personally, I think it's the right thing. I think getting out of Atlanta, this is where everybody knows your name. The streets know your name. Get out of here. Let me get these glasses off because my eyebrows are sweating and causing my glasses to fog up. We got a lot of technical difficulties this evening. But so yeah, I think it's actually the right thing to get out of Atlanta. Now, I understand family and so forth, bro. You better bring them people with you, or bring your family with you. Bring your have them come visit you. Get them some regular air miles or something, my guy. But I think hopefully it'll land on the right side for him, and give him an opportunity to do the right things for him and his family. But if that be the case, then stay out of Atlanta. Stay out of Atlanta, my guy. But I do want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all for being a part of the best live chat. We got Bruce up in the building, in the house. We got him there. We got all of y'all. And I want to say thank you so much, all of y'all, for being a part of the best live chat on the internet. It means a lot that you guys rock with me and hang out with us and just jump in and chit chat it up and all that kind of good jazz like that. Great community. I've heard so many positive things from other people about this community. And I want to say thank y'all for being a part of this community and making it exactly what I thought it would be, which is something amazing for everybody to participate in and take part in. So thank y'all so much for that. I do want to shift gears. We were talking kind of lightheartedly about Young Thug, but I do want to talk about a case that maybe has might be a little bit of polarizing. That's why I wanted to salve y'all over by saying you're the best live chat and you all are building a great community, because I don't want to divide the community up with the next one. So what I want to do is I want to talk about this Daniel Penny up there in New York. And I know I had not talked about it. I kind of wanted to make sure I had a good grasp of it, if you will. Life has been busy over here at Whitaker Park, but shout out to Nate the lawyer. Nate the lawyer did an excellent breakdown of this case, the results of it. And I'm going to take a little bit of time because I do want to talk about BLM and their response to the not guilty on all charges verdict of Daniel Penny. If you're not familiar, Nate the lawyer is going to kind of break it down and all that kind of good stuff like that. And I just want to give you all an opportunity to maybe express where you all are, what you think about it, so on and so forth of that nature. So with no further ado, let's bring Nate up in here. Nate, you're welcome, brother. Let's go.
What's up? Hi, Daniel. What's up? How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
All right. If you haven't gotten the news, Daniel Penny has been found not guilty on all counts. He's essentially free to go. Prosecutors have lost that case, and it was an obvious self-defense case. But we get to see Daniel Penny's reaction to the verdict, because they walked right out the courthouse and went to a local bar and got caught by someone from the New York Post. So let's see the reaction from Daniel Penny, and then we'll see the BLM reaction, which again is also insane.
What's up? Hi, Daniel. What's up? How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together. How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
You know, when you look at this video, you're going to see Daniel Penny walk away because obviously he feels uncomfortable. Someone died from this, and he didn't mean to kill anybody. He was trying to do the right thing. And the outcome, you can tell that still strains him. And yes, he's happy that he's free, but you can tell it's still bothering him. And it shows you, I think, the character of the person. If that, yeah, he's happy he's not going to jail, but obviously it's still not a joyous situation. But again, you could see by his body language. Let me continue to play this.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the point thing is it happened. So we can't control the timing of it, but we can certainly savor the outcome.
And why do you think it was not guilty?
And shout out to the legal team, right? Everybody hates lawyers until you need one. Shout out to the legal team, because they did a hell of a job putting this in front of that jury and convincing that jury that the prosecution didn't meet its burden. And this was an obvious self-defense case. And, you know, we say that now, but actually going through the motions and putting all that stuff together and fighting against the machine, it takes a lot of gumption. And, you know, Daniel Penny was served right. These lawyers did a fantastic job. So I just want to make a shout out to the legal team for Daniel Penny. They deserve all the flowers because they kick some behind.
That's that guy.
Well, he's not guilty on a few different reasons. Because his actions were justified. He was trying to help people on that train, and he did. And number two, he's not responsible for the death because the death was caused by a lot of other factors that we tried to present with a lot of clarity, such as the K2 abuse and the sickling crisis, and cardiac issues. Not to mention the paranoid schizophrenia, which only added to that impact. So I'm just glad that the jury was able to truly evaluate that as a potential cause of death, and that Danny was justified in the actions that he took.
I don't think he could have said it any better. I think the people.
Hey, before we get too far afield, maybe, just maybe, and again, I'm not an expert at the case. However, Daniel Penny put a man who was having, I believe he was having a medical crisis where he was attacking people, and he put him in a chokehold on a subway in New York. And because, well, part and parcel because of the gentleman that he put in the chokehold passed away. Now, I'm pretty sure, without even knowing the full details of the story, you probably know the ethnicity of the man that died. Right. He was black. And I believe he was like a street performer, but he was attacking people. He was assaulting people on the train. And Daniel Penny, who has military training, put him in a chokehold, and there we go. And the gentleman did pass away. So he was just found not guilty yesterday on all charges. And so these are his lawyers, the defense team that spoke up on his behalf. So there we go. So let us go.
People on that train understood what was going on. I think the jury who rides the train every day understood what's going on, especially after you just had some maniac on the train stab 3 people to death in New York. And the person who they want to put behind bars is not the Jordan Neely who tried to kidnap a 7-year-old and is breaking the nose of senior citizens in New York with 40-something arrests. It's Daniel Penny, the person who has no criminal history, the person who everyone on the train said was helping and saving them from this maniac. And the other 2 guys, remember, it wasn't the only one. There were 3 people who jumped on Jordan Neely to stop his madness. So this wasn't about race at all, even though, and it's shocking to say, the prosecutors tried to make this case about race. They tried to make this a case about this skin color, and it wasn't. And I'm just glad the jury of black people, white people, Hispanic people all saw through that fraud. And I do want to show you, it's sad because this is a clip that my friend from AJ, from Actual Justice Warrior, his name is Sean. I'm saying AJ, I'm supposed to say AJW, but Actual Justice Warrior, great channel, fantastic channel. If you like my type of content, you'll love this type of content. You should definitely jump over there and check him out. He has this clip of an ADA, and this ADA is the person who prosecuted Daniel Penny. And she's going to tell us about another case in which she tried to prosecute a guy who killed an 81-year-old in a robbery. Now, this person you're supposed to get life in prison, right? Robbery, the guy dies on a robbery, that's felony murder, it's over. But listen to the reasons why she did not seek felony murder charges.
Okay, I got to stop for a second. I just want to stop to give everybody a chance to breathe and kind of figure out what Nate just said. Nate is not some radical right-leaning lunatic. You know what I'm saying? Nate is very leftist in a lot of his policies and his belief systems, but he's able to discern and be honest about something that is just egregious. So what we're about to watch is we're going to watch the ADA, the assistant district attorney, talk about why she did not file felony murder charges on somebody who killed somebody in the process of a robbery. Okay. Again, felony murder. The person died while they were trying to rob him. Okay. And she's about to explain why she didn't file felony murder charges. And I basically let the guy walk. Yeah. Nate is a former cop, and I think he's still a lawyer. Yeah. He's still a lawyer, former cop, excellent content creator. If the moderators are able to drop Nate the lawyer's link in the chat, it'll be fantastic. Excellent content creator, solid commentator, and such of that nature. All right, so real quick, let's check this out.
Against this obvious career criminal.
So I'm going to give you an example of something that I did with a recent case of mine, and this has never been done in my office.
Probably should never have been done.
I had a murder case where the defendant did not intentionally kill the victim. He went into an ATM on the Upper West Side and tried to rob an individual. Unfortunately, it was an older individual. He was 86. And in the course of the robbery, he fell to the ground. And as a result, he died. This is, under the law, a felony murder, which is akin to intentional murder. However, when I first got the case, I learned, I took the time to learn about the defendant. And it was a strong case. So it wasn't about a whodunit. I knew immediately who did it. I could prove it. I could take it to trial that day and win it. But it wasn't about that. It was that the more I learned about the defendant and his life and the circumstances, the kinds of things that Jarrell was talking about, that one should take into account the trauma of that individual, I really felt incredibly sorry for him that he had gotten to that point in his life where he felt like there was no other choice but to commit this robbery.
So understand, this prosecutor, this prosecutor over here, she would rather give Daniel Penny, who was helping a train full of people, where all the people said he was helping us, we're thankful for him, this guy was going to kill us. Thank God for Daniel Penny. She wants to give him 15 years, right? Because he stopped the madman who was threatening passengers, who had beaten up and targeted elderly people in the past, who had tried to, remember this guy, Jordan Neely, had tried to kidnap a 7-year-old. All of that, you're doing all of that. And she wants Daniel Penny to get 15 years in prison because he happens to be white. Then when it comes to this black defendant who goes to an ATM, kills an 82-year-old, said unintentionally, I don't care. She's trying to rob him. The reason why he's trying to rob an 82-year-old is because he's 82, right? Hard, he can't chase him or anything like that. Easy victim. Tries to rob an easy victim. The victim dies. Lo and behold, she talking about the defendant. The defendant is the one that needs help. The defendant is the one that needs understanding. The defendant needs jail time. He needs like life in prison. But no. She's understanding. She's understanding of that. And that's the people in the city of New York elected to be prosecutors, right? She works for the wokest prosecutor in the country right now. And that's why I think that's why Trump won. That's why crime became a big issue. That's why all those counties in California turned red, because of people like this who for some reason have twisted the criminal justice system into this thing of, just skin color. It's all skin color based. Black guy robs an Asian man, kills him, but we should take pity on the black guy and give him less time and try to figure out something other than incarceration. But the white guy who saves black people by killing some maniac, and again, the killing was unintentional, just like in the other case she's talking about, that guy should take the 15 years. Make it make sense, people. Now let's look at BLM, their reaction. We'll look at the founder of BLM New York. She's going to react.
Okay, I'm going to stop before he gets to BLM, because that's going to be a total shifting of the gears. So I was in the process of pulling up a passage of scripture that I wanted to use to highlight this ADA, and it's Proverbs 12:10. Proverbs 12:10 in the ESV, good Presbyterian reading there. It reads as such: whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. And this woman right here, in my opinion, demonstrates the mercy of the wicked being cruel. So because she's using feelings, she's using a subjective reality to impose upon this man, trying to be merciful to him. She's actually being cruel to the rest of the community. She's being cruel to the victim's family or the victim themselves. So in her attempt to be kind, she's actually being cruel. Whereas if she were being true and saying this man did the wrong thing, he needs felony murder, put him in jail or whatever the proper sentence is, she's actually doing the right thing for him. She's showing that punishment is exact and sure. She's doing the right thing for the community as well as the victim and the victim's families. It's really that easy. Proverbs 12:10 comes right in clutch. All right. They were able to argue, Bruce, thank you so much. They were able to argue some pre-existing health issues. The gentleman was dealing with a mental issue as well as sickle cell. It's the same kind of argument they try to use with the George Floyd argument, that he had, drugs in the system, he had unhealthy lifestyle, this, that, and the other. I'm not arguing those things. The jury felt like the prosecution had not made their case. They felt like the defense was on the money, so I'm gonna let that go. However, so that's as far as I know, that's how they concluded that Daniel Penny was not guilty. Now we got to talk about BLM, Black Lives Matters. Only sometimes though, because if you realize that there have been all kinds of events that have transpired and you have not heard from Black Lives Matters, all these shenanigans, all this hijinks going on in New York with schools being shut down to house migrants, Black Lives Matters has been quiet. Any other kind of murder, any other kind of event, Black Lives Matters has been quiet. And this is across the nation. I didn't even know they were still an organization until just yesterday. But now they crawl from out of whatever gutter, whatever seedy gas station toilet they've been in. Now all of a sudden, Black Lives Matters is back. And now we got to talk about them. So let's go. Let's go.
Shavonna Newsom, Chivona Newsome. I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, and I'm a devout Christian. And in my Bible,
okay, y'all already know. You already know she done already got me. She done already got my spidey senses going on. She's gonna say that she is a devout Christian. Y'all know what she's about to cite, right? Yeah. You know what Bible passage? I'm sorry. She's going to paraphrase because she's not citing any passage. She's actually just paraphrasing something. This is ridiculous. This is a wholehearted, bona fide, stir-fried foolishness. Melanated Marxism on full display. Was this live New York City was playing this foolishness on yesterday. I'm gonna back up just a little taste. Let's back it up just a little smidgen and let her get a full run at it. Here it goes. Let's go.
Chivona Newsome. I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, and I'm a devout Christian.
Really?
And in my Bible, thou shalt not kill. In the Torah, thou shalt not kill. In Buddhism and Hinduism, thou shalt not kill a living thing.
I've always wondered. I always find it humorous. It's always weird to me. And I've talked about this big screen. I've talked about this before. Oh, big screen on me. There we go. I've talked about this before. Using religious text to bolster an argument that's decidedly not biblical or decidedly not from that scriptural text. What's the purpose of doing that? What is the purpose of doing that? You could quote Yoda. You could quote Shakespeare. You can go get some John Bunyan. Why do you quote scripture but then make an argument that's void from scripture? That has always just perplexed me. I've never understood, why do people do that? And then even better question, in my opinion, why do people who believe in said religious text, the scriptures, why do we allow this? Why do we allow somebody to quote this as if that the scriptures support what she's about to say? She's laying this as a foundation next to the Torah and a book of Buddhism. I don't know if they have an actual text, but the Buddhists, those are not the same. So what are you doing? Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Jason, dearwokec@gmail.com. Please make sure you email management. All right, let's go.
But America has no moral code. America has no soul. Our bloods have paved the streets of this nation since its inception. It was foolish of us to think that a black man would get justice in the system designed to keep him oppressed. My heart bleeds for the Neely family. My heart bleeds for his father, who sat in front of me every single day and prayed for justice for his son. There is no one coming to save black people, or else we wouldn't live in these ghettos, we wouldn't be in these prisons, and we we will be further along than we are.
Okay. And maybe we'll turn this into like this might need to actually be a discussion for a longer, maybe when your boy actually has a lot of time and it actually starts the show at 7 instead of like 9:05, right? Let's talk about that on another show. The idea that Black people are held down because of society, can we have a fair and honest discussion about that? Can we have a fair and honest discussion about that? Because at no time, I'm sorry, I strongly disbelieve that this woman, let's just say her ancestors were in fact chattel slaved over here to the United States. And they were in fact slaves. Let's just say that for laughs and giggles. I'm going to go on a limb and say that she today is further along than her ancestors were by miles, by light years. Okay? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, young lady? What are you discussing? Are you trying to get me to believe that Black people, you're literally on television spewing all of this melanated Marxism, this colored communism, and you want me to believe that you're not better off than you could have been? Okay. This makes no sense at all. And Black Lives Matters, whatever, man. Y'all are a dumb organization. You don't represent Black people at all. You don't represent, you don't represent Black people. You don't stand for life because none of it matters. You're a complete and utter sham organization. The fact that you still exist is a blight on Americans, on America as a whole. That we have not been able to get rid of this big, fat, blister, festering pimple on the backside of America. We still ain't got rid of this foolishness. Black Lives Matter, to go jump in a lake. Go away. Nobody cares. And this dude in a moment is going to talk about rioting and so forth. Sir, you do that on your own, my guy. I ain't studying nothing about you. Not even a little bit. You go riot on your own. I'm sorry. Y'all do that for yourself. You ain't doing that for me at all. They ain't represent me at all. And please don't you dare email management about how I'm wrong about Black Lives Matters. If you email dearwokec@gmail.com about how I'm wrong about Black Lives Matters, please give me 3 dates and times that you're able to come on camera and tell me how I'm wrong. Please, you must be willing and able to. You must be willing and able to come on camera and tell me to my face how I'm wrong. You got to. You got to. You must set me straight. You cannot let me continue in this delusion. If you are right, then you must set me straight. It is your obligation to somebody, whoever you believe in. It's your obligation. You must. So don't you dare, dearwokec@gmail.com. Email me and tell me that I'm wrong about Black Lives Matter, social justice, or critical race theory. And let's just throw DEI in there as well for good measure. Don't you dare email management. Let's go. I got to get finished.
We wouldn't be at the absolute bottom. So forgive me for being jaded and cynical, but once we saw those non-white jurors, we knew that this case was over.
No.
So just stop, Jason.
Non-white jurors. How could there not be an uproar that the same person who got off Kyle Rittenhouse, who got off O.J. Simpson, was used here? And shame on you, celebrities and politicians who claim not to be racist, because the racists spoke loud and clear. John McCain's daughter, she had something to say. I think she incited a riot for the right. Phil Mickelson, he had something to say. Kid Rock donated $3 million. And if you look on social media, if you look at the hatred spewed across against us, against Black people, against a man who was sick.
Okay. Okay, I'm here to be petty. If I look on social media and I find hatred toward Black people, would it be okay for us to say that that's inappropriate and such of that nature? Y'all in the chat real quick. If I find people being hateful toward the highly melanated, is it fair to say that that's wrong? Could y'all just real quick in the chat let me know? Oh, law and above, you welcome. DearWokeC@gmail.com. I need 3 dates that you're available so we can go on and make sure we can get that on the camera. Okay, so it's wrong. It would be wrong. So if I go to social media and I find hatred or vitriol toward the highly melanated, it would be, thank you, Shadow Walker. Thank you so much, Saddle Seeker. It's fair to say that that would be wrong, right? Is that good? Okay, got you. Let me just ask a little caveat question too. I know I'm just gonna be an extra tonight. What if it's a black person that does it though? Is that still wrong? Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's my point. We don't have the same smoke for ourselves. Sure. I don't want to see a black person killed by a white person. I don't want to see a white person killed by a black person. I don't want to see an Asian person killed by a Hispanic. I don't like seeing people die. We're not really the biggest fan of that. But we don't have the same vitriol when we kill one another as we do when a white person does it. Now we got all kinds of steam. We got all kinds of words and such of that nature, but we don't have any of that same smoke or energy when we do it. And it just seems to perplex me. It just seems to be so interesting. It just seems like such a, wow, that's such an interesting take that we have so much energy for when other people do something to us, but not when we do it to ourselves. And there is a correlation. There is a lessening. There is a cheapening of life when we do it to the degree, and then we get all in our feelings when a white person does it, a Hispanic person does it, somebody with less melanin or another country, another nationality, forgive me, does it. We get all in our feelings, but we don't seem to have that same energy when we do it and cheapen lives. Please don't even play with me. Let's go.
Because when there's a crisis of drugs in America, I'm sorry, it's only a crisis when it's a white person, an opioid crisis. Jordan was labeled a drug addict and labeled a crackhead. The only crime that Jordan nearly was guilty of was the color of his skin.
Come on.
But luckily for Daniel Penny, his skin was not like Jordan.
So following that logic, let me make sure I got it right, because I got to understand how the game is played here. The only reason that the Jordan Neely passed away is because he was black, highly melanated. He was doing nothing else, right? Nothing else happened. Am I correct? He wasn't attacking the people on the subway. He didn't have a propensity of attacking people on subways and out in the open. None of those things are true. Somebody saw him. Hey, you're a black guy. Let me kill you. And that's what I'm supposed to believe. Is that what I'm supposed to believe? I just want to make sure I understand how does it work, because I don't understand otherwise how to play the game, because I don't know all the rules, because they seem to be pretty malleable. Let's get done.
Because you honestly wouldn't have seen our face. The NYPD would have arrested him after 3 hours. The justice system would have found him guilty. And shame on this jury. Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
Wow.
As you see, the race hustling game has to continue to race hustle, right? If she doesn't, she has to say that because she wants to get more money. They want to try to make this into a George Floyd. And the reason why is because George Floyd got them $90 million. They don't give a damn about Jordan Neely, right? They don't care about any of it. They care about the money. So the way they do that is obviously just straight up lie to you. Just tell you things that you know not to be true. And hopefully you'll feel so shamed about having racist thoughts that you'll overlook the fact that it was black people on that train that thanked Daniel Penny for helping them. It was black people who went and testified and said, you know what? That guy was crazy. Somebody who was on the train for 50 years said that, hey, I ride the train for 50 years. There's something I've never seen before. The woman who rode it for 30 years, I've never seen this either. Right? Lifelong New Yorkers. And the only side, and I want you guys to really make sure you understand this, the only side that's mentioning race is the state and the prosecution, is BLM. The defense didn't bring up race. Matter of fact, they brought all the witnesses. They brought all the facts. Here are the facts. Here are the witnesses. And the other side only have race. And since that race narrative has failed, this is what you have now. As always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Tell me how you feel about this case. I'm happy the kid got off, and I'm happy that sanity eventually went out. Don't forget to like, subscribe to all of your YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Nate, appreciate you, Nate the Lawyer. Thank you so much. Man, I thought that was a good, quick summary of the case. And we'll probably do again on this weekend is look at it a little bit more as more information is kind of fleshed out and such like that, and dig into it a little bit more. But I just thought that was a good one to kind of talk about and give everybody a chance to catch up on that story and the such of that nature. Now I got to do double duty because I got to catch this. I got to find my clip because I want to talk about our favorite. And then I'll just answer any questions y'all got. Get ready to move it on. Okay, so I want to talk about our favorite super mayor. And I know y'all know who the super mayor is. All right. Thank you, Angie, for the $10 super. Says, I am black, but not supporter of BLM. BLM needs to keep that same energy when it's black on black crime. Black lives won't matter until they matter to black people. Thank you for the $10 super. Thank you for that very clear, extremely clear. Good gracious. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all put 927. What's that? Angie Ann's 927. Y'all put 927 in the chat. Just real quick. Just spam 927. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because like I said, I've discussed this with Black Lives Matter supporters, various and sundry people in their leadership stream and as such of that nature. So as other people like to say, hey, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've already argued this case. So I'm not making this up or pulling this out of some Fox News argumentation or anything of that nature. I know where Black Lives Matter's argumentation falls apart, and it falls apart whenever they look outside, whenever they look inside. They do not do internal reflection. So again, dearwokec@gmail.com. Give me 3 dates that you want to. I might even open up the line tonight. But please understand, I'm coming. I have zero respect for Black Lives Matter. So please understand that. And that's where I'll come from. That's where I'll land. All right. We got to talk about our super mayor, y'all. Okay, this is really interesting because we're going to not take our time. We are going to meticulously go through an argument that Tiffany Henyard brought up during the her being kicked out of the Raucous Caucus. And I think most of you all remember that, which was the whole argument about the fact that, or what she said, that she had been kicked out of she was not allowed into the Raucous Caucus. Does everybody remember that? Tiffany was not allowed into the Raucous Caucus. She was outside. And she's okay, that she was outside and she was kept outside from the locked outside with everybody else. Does everybody remember that? If in the chat, if you do remember that, could you please just go and put me a yes in the chat? She said that she was outside. She had been kept outside and inhibited from getting inside because they had a party. They had the fundraiser and they kept her out. Does everybody remember that? All right. So shout out to Jedediah Brown, and his YouTube channel is Investigate and Activate and advocate, please forgive me, with Jedediah Brown. He is the young man. We've seen him at the board meetings. We've seen him at various and sundry things. He really gives Tiffany Henyard and all of her crew indigestion. I mean, he is all about giving them indigestion. I'm dropping the link to this video in the chat too. I want to give mad shout out to Jedediah. And matter of fact, I want to make sure I support this young man right here. So let me bring this video on. All right. So this is the video we're going to be looking at in a second. But I want to encourage you all to go check out this video. It's called the Democratic Caucus 12/3/2024. Now, this is well before the Raucous Caucus actually begins. This is actually during the fundraiser portion of the Raucous Caucus. Or they're just kind of like their little fellowship hour. You know what I'm saying? They're just hanging out. There's lots of people hanging out and such like that. You know what? Before we do that, Jason, we got to do something. Hold on. All right, let's just real quick make sure that because we might not remember what she looked like at the Raucous Caucus. Okay, so I'm bringing this picture in just so we can make sure we can all agree. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's bring this video in first, because I want to make sure we all remember what Tiffany Henyard looked like at the Raucous Caucus before all the shenanigans got started. All right, so real quick. Why is it muted? It's always something, Jason, always something. There we go, right there. All right, let's go again.
Was rigged.
That caucus ended with Henyard, the incumbent, being thrown off the ballot for Thornton Township supervisor. The story is new at 6. Here's NBC5's Regina Waldrop.
With the special Board of Trustees meeting here canceled, Tiffany Henyard used some of the time to talk about Tuesday night's caucus and share what she says was her side of the story.
It was a hostile takeover.
The woman who calls herself super mayor, not backing down.
We will be in court. This is a legal battle.
Tiffany Henyard lost her bid for re-election Tuesday night during a Democratic caucus, with State Senator Napoleon Harris getting the nomination for Thornton Township supervisor. Henyard also serves as mayor of Dalton. She says the process, not fair.
He did not acknowledge anyone or anybody's demand. I was the only one that stood up to him.
There were people on the inside that was not from Thornton Township. There was children on the inside yelling and voting.
Henyard also says many of her supporters kept out of the building.
I asked, can you please let the residents inside the building? They said, no, they have a party. I said, but this is our residents. Let them in. They said no.
An attorney told us Henyard didn't have a certified assessor on her ticket, deeming her invalid for consideration.
That's not true. How would anybody know that if you didn't give me an opportunity to make my nominations?
In a statement, a spokesman for Senator Harris told us in part, claims made by Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and her campaign representative are categorically false. The caucus proceedings were conducted in accordance with established protocols. Meanwhile, Tiffany Henyard says she will be on the April ballot.
Everybody has
Show me in the
calling
Raucous
us
Caucus.
saying they're going to stand with Tiffany Henyard. I appreciate that. Even the naysayers said they're going to stand with me because people like righteousness. They don't like this wrong way of dictatorship for government.
And happening here tomorrow, a meeting for people challenging nominated.
Okay, I thought this was one where they show what she was wearing, because I want to make sure we know what she wore. All right, hold on. I apologize about that. I thought they had a picture of her. I want y'all to see what she's wearing. And there's a good reason why. Okay, let me pull this up. All right, this is a little bit better. Okay, I think I got it right now this time. Let's share this one instead. All right, let's do this one. Trust me, you can see it. Okay, right here. Let's look at this one. Hold on one second. All right, let's do this.
Last night resulted in someone else being named the party's nominee. Eric is in the newsroom with more. Eric?
Well, good morning. The Democratic Party decided to hold a caucus instead of a primary for Thornton.
Okay, real quick. Everybody sees this right here. She has a pink hat on. She has a black puffy coat, and she has pink sweatpants, pink pants or whatever like that. I don't think they're sweatpants. They're probably like dress
Current
pants.
supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who is under fire and under investigation.
Okay, does everybody see that? Okay, that's a pretty noticeable ensemble. Okay, pink hat, black puffy coat, pink slacks or pants, whatnot like that. Is that fair? I think that's reasonable to say that. Okay, that's what she looks like.
Investigation for her use of taxpayer money to fund trips and fancy dinners, called the process unfair and is protesting her loss.
How you ain't let the people be heard?
She left after losing the nomination, but her supporters did speak with WGN.
This is the biggest. This is the biggest. This is a fraud.
Henyard and her allies say her supporters weren't let into the building.
This is criminal. I would easily say hundreds of people that were not allowed in to be a part of the process.
It was State Senator Harris's decision and his decision alone as the Democratic committeeman to choose between a caucus and a primary.
Okay, she's standing right there in the middle. Let me make this bigger. You can see her standing right there in the middle. There's a reason why. She's right there in the middle. There's a gentleman with a blue hat on, and Tiffany Henyard is standing right in front of him. I just want to make sure that y'all see that. So she is definitely not, unequivocally not locked out. But let's finish up.
Harris dismissed Henyard's complaints about the process.
People were getting let in at the proper time. We had a caucus. And the people voted for us, slated candidates to represent them.
Now, the election is in April. Henyard could still be a candidate, but she'd have to be a write-in candidate. She is also calling for an investigation of last night's caucus. We are live in the newsroom. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
Okay, I think it's fair to say that if you could, I think we can agree she had on a pink hat, a black puffy coat, and pink pants. Is that fair? Are we in agreement there? So let's jump back to Jedediah's video. And most of y'all, probably a lot of YouTubers, were pointing this out today. Let me just let you play it. Just play it, Jason. All right, it's really nothing to hear, but I really want you to zoom in on this second. It says reporter one. I want you to pay attention to reporter one's camera. Now, this is again during, the fellowship time. The raucous caucus has not started. So remember, she was, according to her testimony, she was locked out. They were outside. Let us in. We're freezing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, watch this. I'll let it play. There's really nothing to hear as much as it's something to see. All right, this person is over here. We're looking at camera one, reporter one. Okay, there's that gentleman in that blue hat. There's a gentleman right there in the blue hat. There's a woman right here. I just want you to keep your eyes in this area right here. I guess this would be like at about 4 o'clock if we're looking at a clock, about 4 o'clock on an analog clock. Let's go. Do you see pink hat pop up over there? Did you notice a pink hat right there? Just stay tuned. Okay, if you could, now if we look over here, this main camera right here, can I zoom in any? I wonder if I can. Because apparently the cameraman knows that y'all already know what we're doing. Tiffany Henyard is actually in this. I can't zoom in, darn it. It won't let me zoom in. Tiffany Henyard is actually in the raucous caucus before they actually started. So that whole brouhaha about I was locked out and we were outside in the cold and couldn't feel our fingers and our toes were going to sleep, all that kind of stuff, that's all not true. She's literally right there. She's in here. Watch this. Okay, if you look again, she is standing right there. For whatever reason, those two big guys are kind of like not holding. Those two big guys are like keeping her hidden in the back. And in a moment, she's gonna bust out. Don't even worry about it though. Tiffany Henyard was already in there. Now, notice the caucus is not going on. They are not doing the raucous caucus. Harris has not called anybody to order. They haven't done the Pledge of Allegiance. None of that stuff's happening. This is just the fundraiser part. Remember, Tiffany Henyard said they were not able to come in. Okay. Okay, now do you see over here? We see the pink hat, we see the black puffy coat, we see the pink slacks. Now, maybe that's not her. Maybe that's a fashion trend up north. It's very possible, but I just want you to see it sure looks like Tiffany Henyard. But don't worry, don't worry. Now stop right there. Now remember Tiffany Henyard had all those shirts in her hand a moment ago in the previous video when she was saying Napoleon was wrong? That's her right there. She's in the building. She's in the house. Tiff is in the building. She is not locked outside. She's in the building. And this is during the fellowship time. This is during the beginning of the caucus. She was never locked out. Okay, there she is again. And again, I dropped the link to Jedediah's channel. Please go check out what he does over there. Let me drop it one more time, make sure everybody has it. That's her. That's her. So all of this brouhaha about whether or not she had been locked outside and the seniors are locked outside and this, that, and other, she's actually in here. There she is right there. Wish I could put like a little, I know I can draw on this, but I got to figure out how to do that. Okay, let's keep going. Is that not her? Let me back it up just a little smidgen for y'all. I might be not a little bit more of a smidgen. Okay, a little bit more smidgen. She walks over there to so-and-so, sister so-and-so. She got to give him a hug. And now reporter one, that's her. Is that not Tiffany Henyard right there? And there is no caucus going on. They are not outside. They're not locked in the freezing cold. Can't feel their feet, frostbitten on the nose, anything like that. That is Tiffany Henyard. So all of that bravado, all of those shenanigans, all of that flew right out the window. She's literally in here. She's in here. So that stuff about they kept her out and she didn't get in until later. She had to beat on the door, sneak in, this, that, and the other. The woman got separated from her child. All those things, those are stories that she made up because she's literally in the building. Finish this up, Jason. I don't know if they went any further with her on this side.
Hey, y'all. Not on the face. Good. Thank you.
All right, so there's Harris, and they're about to call things to order. So I just want you to see this because this is before all of the raucous caucus got started.
I'm cleaning it up. I told them I'm not on clean up.
She said she is not cleaning up. There's Napoleon right there. So let me ask you a question. If Tiffany Henyard really felt like she was not going to get an opportunity to voice whatever it is that she wanted to voice, wouldn't this be an ideal time to come up and speak on that matter? Talk on that matter? Wouldn't this be a great time to do that? I'm just wondering. I mean, he's just standing right there. You know it's a caucus. You know that you don't have your slate. You know all those things are not in place. Oh, by the way, you have to submit your slate a few days before. That's why they nominate. That's why they know that you had a full slate. That's how they knew that Tiffany Henyard didn't have was a certified assessor. That's how they knew it, because she had to submit it beforehand. But I digress. Wouldn't this be a great time right now to do that? I'm just wondering. What's wrong, baby? Okay. All right, let's keep this going.
I was told don't move. I'm telling you, I was down. I'm going to get it.
And now the raucous caucus begins. There it is. So that's where most of us, this is where most of us picked up the raucous caucus right here. But in actuality, it was going on. She's been in here. Do y'all see that? She's been in the building. Tiff was in the house. Tahoe Tiffany was in here. She wasn't locked outside. She wasn't impeded. She was right here. She technically wasn't even late. She was on time. But the problem is, and this is my tinfoil hat. The thing is, she was expecting her mob to be able to come in, but they got there late. Tiffany wasn't late. Her crew bussing people in, they were late. And that's what messed them up. That's what I think happened. Tiffany was there. Who knows? She might have been there from the beginning. She might have been eating the dinner and everything. I don't know. But Tiffany was already in the house. Her crew was not. I think that's what happened. She was trying to have her crew come in to, again, I mean, I ain't mad at you. You want to be supervisor of Dalton, of Thornton Township, because you're gonna lose that bread, and we understand that's a pretty nice bag. We're talking about almost $250,000 a year. Hey, if I got to get 500 of my friends to come, I got to bust my church in, I'm probably gonna do it too. I ain't mad at you. However, whoever was driving the buses or caravanning from wherever to get them to Thornton Township, I think they messed up. That's what I think happened. Tiffany was actually there, and she was expecting to be like, have so many people there that would overwhelm the system. Because again, she's a chaos queen. So she would overwhelm the system, and they would be like, oh, fine, you could just be on the ballot, even though she didn't have that certified assessor. And they already knew that. But she wanted to like showboat. That's why every time she talks about, I got video evidence and I got this, that, and the other. But guess what? We haven't seen any of it. You know why? Because it doesn't really exist. And at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, she knows she didn't have that certified assessor because she already turned in that paperwork. So if she goes to court, if she goes to try to make a fuss about this, she realizes they already know that she didn't have that assessor. So she was not qualified when she stood up in here on that day. Let's finish this up just so we can kind of see again. Sorry about that. Yes, I did see that too. Thank you so much. That audio is way off. Their audio is trash. I don't know what happened here. Okay, now right there, he says we're going to open the floor for nominations. So you've already, for lack of a better term, pre-qualified to be nominated, aka you've submitted all your paperwork several days before. So this was on Tuesday, so maybe they did it the Friday before, maybe the Saturday, whatever, like that, maybe even Monday, I don't know. But you've already kind of pre-qualified. So it says like Jason is running, and I got Coach Karen on my team, I got Nola on my team, Bitter Lilies, Miss Mandy, and Peter. So we already know, like they know I got everybody on my slate. So therefore I can be nominated by the community. If I don't have all my people, I don't qualify to be nominated. Okay. And so let's say Miss Mandy is a certified assessor. I don't have Miss Mandy on my slate. So that spot rather is blank, is open, is empty. Well, that means I don't have a full slate. Therefore, I am not qualified to be nominated. Let's go. Dan. All right. There we go. Let me make that big. Pink hat, black puffy coat, pink breeches, sweats, slacks, whatever. Isn't that the woman that was just standing back there in the back? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That was her. That was her. She was back there in that back corner talking to Miss Ida and whoever else until it was showtime, because she knows that she's not qualified. So she's going to go up there and try to make a stir and not be in order. She likes to say, you're out of order. This is her being out of order. She doesn't have her slate in order. And they would know this because she had to submit the nomination days before. That's it. Same guy right there behind her. That's the guy that was standing there behind her. You're right. That's it. She was already in the building holding those shirts. You see her holding the shirts, just like she was back there when she was talking to Miss Ida. I'm going to play the rest of it just so we can see it. But we're not going to play the whole entire video. Is that not her? Was that not her in the back? Somebody yelling, remove her. I mean, they just straight ignoring her. Okay, so here's the Sergeant of Arms make his nomination. Just so y'all, I just give you a chance to see it all. Who do you think she texted? That is wild. That is wild. She got to feel some kind of way. She got to feel some kind of way. Boy, that doggone Chicago news, boy, they gonna get this story. My man right here in the gray cardigan with the good beard, he got his mic, and this is the gentleman over here in the tan colored coat. He over there, he trying to get he trying to get exclusives. I ain't mad at him at all. It's the most Chicago I know. And there, so now we know that guy behind her in the blue was not just standing there because, because he had nowhere better to stand. He's standing there. She handed him all those shirts, and now she's turning back around to keep talking her foolishness. Boy, she got to feel some kind of crunchy. I didn't realize these people down here that y'all are. I wish they had a PA system though. That was it. Okay, so all right. Shout out to Jedediah Brown, man. Excellent commentary on that, and found this story. And hopefully there's other ones out there as well. But Tiffany Henyard was in the building. So that story that she told the next day about how they were locked out and everybody was freezing and the seniors, getting frostbit, Frosty Snowman was out there, all that kind of stuff like that. That's all a lie, because she was literally in the building. And I think what happened, I really believe she thought that they could just bring all those people that she bust in, and they would just overwhelm the system, and it'd be so much support that they would, for lack of a better term, they would tacitly believe that she was not qualified to run. And then the next day they'll have to come back and say, well, she wasn't qualified to run, and people be all upset. You took away my voice and blah, 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 voter suppression, blah, blah, blah. But no, they did not, because she was not qualified to start. Otherwise, she would have, when they opened the floor and said for nominations, if she was qualified, she would have ran her happy self up there and said, I nominate myself. I nominate me. Here's my whole slate. But she didn't, because she didn't. And now she ain't, because she can't. See, I did that. This is craziness. She's on. Well, she's the seventh trustee on Napoleon's slate, and he can go ahead and chop off that bottom portion of it. Yeah, this is a mess. But I just think it's interesting because she's made all of this hay about, I'm going to sue and I'm going to be on the ballot. Ma'am, the best you're going to be is a write-in candidate, the very best. And your lawsuit is going to fall flat on its face, because this is going to be clear evidence that you were in the building. So you were not locked out. So you did not. And I'm sure the election committee has a copy of her slate that she would have submitted in order to qualify the days prior. So because of that, I'm sure they all can see she was not qualified. I think this is wild, y'all. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. This is going to be so crazy, man. This is such a bonkers story. This is the most Thornton Township, Dalton story possible. And just when you think it has reached the highest levels of shenanigans, they find another way. They find another way to take us to another level of foolishness. I love it. I love it. What do y'all think? What are you thinking? Let me real quick bring this back up. Okay. So she would have needed, well, let me say it like this. She could have had the tax assessor that she fired, but she fired that woman. She could have had her on there. She's a Dalton tax assessor. She could have had her on there and would have been good to go, but she didn't. And here we go. I just think the irony of the fact that you fired a tax commissioner, a tax assessor, please forgive me. You fired a tax assessor because she didn't support you in some of your giveaways and such of that nature, only to later on need said tax assessor, not have said tax assessor, and now you're going to lose this position. It's got to be the highest mark of comedy. I don't even know if there's any comedy higher than that. She stay burning bridges. She stays burning bridges. I love it. You can't cross burned bridges. All right. Her being there proves that she knew the time it was, right? There's that as well. Supposed to start. So that excuse is bogus too. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of problems with this. There's a lot of them. But she was there. She was there. And she was in the building. She could have had her little slice of pizza. When they said open the floor for nominations, she could have ran down there to nominate herself. She could have did all of that stuff, but guess what? She did not, because she was not qualified to run. And that's it. This is going to be wild to see how this all works out. The tax assessors in a red and black sweater, I believe it. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's trustees from Dalton in there. There's all these people that have been to the Dalton business meetings. They've been giving her business. All of them. There's a lot of them in there. And it's funny because like we're just, the unincorporated Dalton community. And I see people like, oh, I know that person. Hey, I know her. But it's got a while. So I'm looking forward to see how this goes. Just check and see what else I'm missing here. Lots of good commentary. I appreciate it. that irony is wild. And yes, and by the way, Shadow Seeker sent me a video as well. It's from another side of it's from another angle. Is excellent video. It's just you can't really see Tiffany as well as you can see Tiffany in this video. And I really wanted y'all to see her. I mean, you can kind of make it out, but I think this one is a little bit, when I looked at it again, I'm like, oh, you can see her a lot better in this one. But again, shout out to Shadow Seeker and Nola, who sent it to me. Nola shot your boy an email and stuff like that. You can see Kamal Woods though too, and Tiffany's daughter in that video too. That's craziness because he's still married. You had to take 90 hours of coursework to become a certified tax assessor in Illinois, according to Google. Okay. I don't think she could have. The fact that she fired the former tax assessor is all the problems she needed. That's it. And the lady seemed like she didn't like her, so she locked her out. I mean, it's really that petty. It was that petty. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Okay, let me just see something real quick. I got a quick question I want to check on before I get ready to get up out of here. The village of Dalton. Shout out to you, Bitter Lily. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see something. Okay, so I was actually checking. Remember last night we looked at the Thornton Township website, and on Thornton Township's website, Tiffany Henyard or somebody has removed the 2 trustees that don't support Tiffany Henyard. They removed their pictures off the website, and like it doesn't even they don't even get email, right? They don't even get the email. The emails don't work. None of that stuff works. So I was checking to see if on the Dalton website, if they're still there. And apparently they don't have like a true Dalton website. Let me see. Maybe this is it. This might be it. Let me see. They have okay, here we go. Let me just check. I just want to see if they have our mayor. Let's see if they got the board of trustees. Let's see. Oh no, they got them all listed. Okay. So let me share this real quick. So shout out to okay. So on the Dalton website, they do have all of the trustees listed. So this is the Village of Dalton YouTube, YouTube, their website. So you got Jason, you got Kiana, Brittany Norwood, and you got the phone numbers. You got Andrew Holmes and Stan Brown and Tammy Brown. All right. So they actually got them on there. Unlike on Thornton, where the two that are opposing her are missing. Maybe she just thinks that if she removed all of the ones that don't support her, it would look really weird. Maybe that's what she's thinking, because there's 4 of them that don't support her and 2 that do. So it would look really weird if there's only 2 trustees. Maybe that's what she's doing. I don't know. But I just thought that was funny. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Tiffany says, you can't catch me lying. Court, is that you on the video in highlighter pink? I mean, it's going to be hard for her to say that she wasn't in there. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be really, really hard for her to say, it wasn't me. That's going to be hard, because I'm sure there are other videos. I mean, there's tons of people in there with their cameras out, their phones out. I'm sure that's not the only one. It might be just the only one that somebody found immediately. Shout out to Jedediah and his team. But I'm sure there's other ones as well that can equally show a security camera, for crying out loud, coming in and out the door to show that Tiffany Henyard was already in the building. I'm sure of that. So like whoever that big guy is, it's going to be hard to hide him on camera. So when did he come in? Where did he come from? I don't think that's going to be hard at all. Tiffany on electoral board? No, I don't think so. I hope not. Oh, she was at the electoral board meeting, yes, where they were trying to. So what they do is they, on the slate, if let's say I was on Napoleon Harris's slate as chief gerbil catcher or something, right? Well, I don't live in Thornton Township, so during those electoral board meetings, they can come in and say, hey, Jason, Napoleon's slate is not complete because Jason does not live in Thornton. Jason don't even live in the time zone. Jason is a Southerner and he's a carpetbagger. Get him up out of here. So they could disqualify me because I'm not a Thornton resident. And I don't know if they get an opportunity to select somebody else or whatnot like that. That I don't know. But so that's what the that electoral board was a couple days after. I think it was like last Thursday. I think it was. It might have even been. No, I think it was Thursday. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna lie under oath. Not for Tiffany, at least. I don't think anybody's gonna do that for her. That's gonna be wild. What were the other jobs that she was talking about? Napoleon is the electoral chair, state councilman. I'm sorry, state senator, and he's running for Thornton supervisor. So that would be 3 roles that you hear her saying that he's running for 3 roles or has 3 jobs or whatever she's talking about. But I think he's not going to be election chair again, so he'd only have 2. And that's my thought. And I don't think most people would even argue, even if they did let him. And they'd be like, look, if we get rid of her, we're good. We're good. All right. I'm just looking through to see if I miss any good conversations, anything I need to talk about, anything I need to bring up. All right. I think we're good to go on the radio. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll hear some more about that. I want to really hear how she justifies, or does she even address the fact that, ma'am, it looks like you were in the building. Were you in the building? I'm pretty sure there's gonna come up with some way of no, it wasn't me, or that. I can't imagine they're getting away with that, but I can hear her trying it at least. I don't know how they do it either. Well, in my opinion, I think they're both 2 part-time jobs, but somebody disagreed with me yesterday and said the Thornton Township job is a full-time job. I'm like, well, she has another job, so how is that a full-time job? Seems like it would be a part-time, but I might be tripping. But it does make me tired just thinking about it. Yeah, I think the pink really did make her stand out. So, hey, I just want to see how it pans out. What all happens? Are they going to try to like do some forensic? Are they going to say no, it is what it is? The caucus was decided, and that's just what goes on, or what? So I'm really interested to see how that shakes out. But I'm looking to real quick see if there's any other. I think that's it. But I did leave the link for this video down in the chat as well. Please go check out Jedediah's video. Support the brother. He's doing some great work over there in Thornton, as well as Dalton and all of those. Wait. You like loud clothes? Not now. I'm hating on her. Oh, man. You ain't hating on her. I got you. Yeah, she's going to ride that story to the bottom. Absolutely. But I think at the end of the day, you got to accept it, baby. She's not going to be on that ballot unless somebody writes her in. That's probably the best it's going to get. I can't see any other way that it's going to do anything else. But even more than that, yeah, that's going to be very problematic. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I think if people see and hear her trying to explain away that why she was in the building, but said she wasn't in the building and such like that, I think that's going to become more problematic than anything else. I don't think that's going to be the best thing for her. She should probably just lay low and try to stay out of trouble and shoot for another opportunity. But I don't think she's ever going to get another position, in my opinion. That's just my little 2 cents. What y'all thinking about it? What y'all think? Oh my gosh, her and Woody would be a good couple. That'd be a wild conversation. For sure. That would be a wild conversation. That I can guarantee you. I don't know what they would talk about, but my goodness, in the morning, it would be wild. All right, good people. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for all of your support. I want to tell everybody, thank you again for helping me hit 50,000 subscribers by April. And all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate you liking the video. Thank you so much for commenting down below. What'd you think about the Daniel Penny story? What'd you think about the Young Thug trying to get back into Atlanta, trying to get back into Metro? And what do y'all think about Tiffany Henyard? How do y'all think this thing is going to shape out? I'd love to hear what y'all think down in the comments below. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for making this not only the best live chat in the world, but the best live chat in the whole entire galaxy. I promise you that anywhere, if they had a live chat on the dark side of Pluto, I'm telling you, we're better than them. Trust me. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Have a fantastic night. God bless, and I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace. Take care.
Hit that like for a deal with Christian. Yo, for a deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian. For a deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian.